Many rookie cops start their careers thinking they hold all the power. They often act like it too. Today we're talking about rookie cops who had a reality check from those higher up. Let's go to the video. When a woman saw a car pulled over on the side of the road, she didn't realize a cop had stopped the driver. She missed seeing the police car altogether. Thinking the man might need some help, she decided to check on him. This didn't sit well with the cop, who got pretty annoyed. He walked over to her and demanded her driver's license, claiming she was getting in the way of his work. The woman was confused because she hadn't even spoken to the cop.
I'm good and I'm safe here. I put out who the car is and the person that I'm speaking with.
But
that's what I always do. There's going to be a supervisor coming here for you since you requested.
Yeah, I do, because I'm not understanding why now I'm being interrogated.
No, you're not being interrogated.
You took my license from me.
Right now it's an investigative detention. Okay. Because
so what?
For what? I already explained that to you multiple times.
And I need to have it again.
Okay.
So when I talk to my attorney. Okay.
Well, you were obstructing me from doing my job.
No, I didn't. No, I think we were. Yeah, I think we're confused on that because I didn't see you clearly at first. Okay. When I pulled to the side, I saw Derek and the kids. Okay. I rolled the window down and said, "Derek, are you okay?" You said, "Ma'am, keep moving."
You didn't see my vehicle?
I seen that's that first car, the flashing lights, and I stopped. You had something in your hand of his, and I rolled down the window.
His driver's license.
Yeah, and I said, "Derek, are you okay?" I'm the assistant supervisor at the house where we work at. So he was bringing the kids back from the park.
Okay.
So I said, "Derek, are you okay?" You said, "Ma'am, you can't stop there. Pull over."
I understand that.
I pull over, right.
I told you you got to go up the
I
side
didn't hear that. You said pull over.
You also told me you didn't see my car.
I seen both cars, the flashing lights.
With lights.
Okay, what does that have to do with me?
It seemed like the cop felt his pride was wounded. He thought the woman was distracting the driver from him, as if that mattered. Even after she handed over her license, he wasn't satisfied. He wanted her registration and insurance papers too. But the woman stood her ground, knowing that she hadn't done anything wrong, which just made the cop angrier. Imagine how he must have felt, realizing bit by bit that he didn't have the control he thought he had. His frustration was probably through the roof as he dealt with the situation, trying to assert the authority where he had little.
So you're running my information based off of a perceived what? What traffic violation did I commit? Can I wait for your sergeant, please? Can I wait for your sergeant to come?
You can talk to my supervisor, okay?
Where's your supervisor?
My supervisor's on the way. She should be here momentarily.
Okay.
Just grab the registration and insurance card, please. The last thing I want to do is have to put any handcuffs on your
head. So you spent me. I didn't commit a crime, right?
Ma'am.
Well, I'm asking you a question.
This is obstruction now. You're obstructing me from doing my job.
Did I commit a crime?
Lawful order to grab your registration.
Sir, can you please ask me, did I commit a crime?
Now you are. It's obstruction.
I committed a crime by what?
It's obstruction of justice. You're not letting me do my job. I gave you a lawful order to grab your registration.
Is that a lawful order or is that a violation of a city ordinance?
I'm giving you a lawful order. That's not a city ordinance. It's a state violation.
So when you ran my license, nothing came up? My name or nothing?
I need your registration and insurance card, ma'am.
Oh, okay. So you hear this?
Please grab that for
so
me.
out of fear for my life and being falsely arrested and under duress, I'm going to get him the documentation that I need because I'm being held against my will.
Ma'am, you are
for no reason at all.
This rookie cop thought he was in the right, not the woman, so he decided to call his boss over. Soon after, his supervisor showed up. She took the time to listen to both sides and saw how distressed the woman was. It was clear that the cop had overstepped. The woman was simply trying to help someone on the road and hadn't broken any traffic laws. There was no valid reason for the cop to demand her documents since she hadn't committed any legal offense. In fact, by doing so, he was infringing on her civil rights. Despite this, the supervisor didn't handle things much better than the rookie cop had. She believed that the most perilous aspect of police work was pulling over cars because officers can never be sure who might step out. For safety reasons, they feel they need to know exactly who they're dealing with. However, this reasoning didn't quite add up in this situation. It seemed a bit far-fetched to assume that a woman, who was clearly just concerned for another person's well-being, could pose a threat to armed officers, especially when they usually work in pairs.
Okay. All right. With my camera.
Okay.
He comes to me and says that I obstructed the investigation, all this stuff. I need to give him my license.
Okay.
I just wanted to know, did I commit a crime? No, you didn't commit a crime, or I'm being detained. Yes, I'm being detained, but I didn't commit a crime. So now he wants my information because he said now it's a traffic violation.
So I do want to talk to him a little bit more about what the traffic violation is. I can see how upset you are. I'm so sorry
because it wasn't on him. It has nothing to do with his job. It was my concern for the employee. Like, what's going on? Did he do something wrong?
So here's where I think the other officer is getting at. And just to explain to you, obviously you don't know him. And it's
never saw him
It's
before.
scary seeing someone you know.
With the kids.
Especially with the
kids,
okay?
right.
For a police officer, I'm just going to give you our side of it as well.
Right.
One of the most dangerous things we do is stop cars. We don't know who you. I know who you are.
Right. We work. Yeah.
But,
and where's Officer Collins at? They all know who I am.
But this officer right here does not know you from anybody else.
Right.
So in his defense, in that way, it could be perceived as a threat when someone pulls up. We don't know if we're going to.
But he was on the other side. He had his friend behind him, though.
So,
what can I do with two officers, two guns?
I understand what you're saying. I'm just trying to give you our.
I get that, but he was on the other side. So I wasn't in his proximity. I didn't even ask him a question at all. I just asked Derek, "Are you all right?"
So what I would suggest in the future is maybe you give Derek a call to see if he's okay. This other officer, when they see another car rolling up like that, they don't know who you are, or they don't know if you're coming to attack them either. I'm assuming that's what happened here, is there was a miscommunication between the two of you, obviously.
The woman wasn't ready to let the incident go. She took the time to explain to the supervisor once more just how poorly the rookie cop had treated her and how inappropriate his attitude was. She detailed how he had even threatened to arrest her just because she refused to hand over her registration and insurance papers. That was when the supervisor realized that the cop had crossed a line, and this could seriously ruin the department's reputation, especially since the woman had caught the whole situation on camera. With no other option, the supervisor went over to the cop, retrieved the woman's ID, which he still hadn't returned, and told the woman she was free to go. Imagine how that rookie cop must have felt having his ego destroyed by his higher authority right there on the spot. It was a necessary reminder for him to understand his boundaries and the responsibilities of his badge.
He said, because now it wants some instruction adjustments to, it's a something traffic stop violation.
Okay.
I said, for what? But I just asked him a question. He says, I'm giving you a lawful order, and if you don't, he was going to arrest me if I didn't give him my insurance card and my
your registration. I got you.
And I said, for what?
Yeah.
I was explaining to you, he's an employee of mine. Wanted to make sure him and the kids were okay. He didn't want to care. He didn't care. That's all good and fine. But now I'm being investigated.
You're not being investigated.
He ran my tags. He already put it through the system. They're going to show that too. He ran my tags.
Well, just to let you know, as far as that goes, we can run anybody's tag.
Not for no reason. No, you cannot.
But you know what? We can run a tag. There's two different ways you run a tag. So there's one way, which is what's called a random, right? Where basically we get that. We can't run your information. We can't do a full lookup, but they can run it to make sure that the vehicle is properly registered.
That is true in some cases, but we have rights in America. You just can't randomly select me out and say, I want to run her tax today. You cannot.
So, as I was saying,
let's let the judge decide.
Yeah,
because
we're not trying to get into that. And
because it's not fair. It's not fair.
Honestly, all I was trying to do was just explain to you. So,
I'll let the lawyer handle that with the department.
Okay.
And let's see what they say.
Absolutely.
And
nope. I'm sorry that the day was so upsetting for you.
It wasn't until now.
And I'm gonna say it again.
Two rookie cops were on duty, feeling pretty bored, so they decided to pull over a car. Inside, there was a guy driving with his mother and another woman. The cops didn't really have a good reason to stop him, but they quickly concocted one to give them an excuse. They started making a fuss about the car's registration. But here's the thing, even if the guy's registration was expired, there was no way the cops could have known that just by watching the car drive by. This brings up a big issue. Cops need to remember they aren't above the law. They can't just stop anyone they want, whenever they want, without a legitimate reason. Things took an interesting turn when a Port Authority commissioner stumbled upon the scene. She asked the cops why they had stopped the car. Initially, they didn't realize who she was and brushed her off, thinking she was just some noisy bystander. However, she quickly set them straight, insisting they address her with respect and refer to her as Commissioner, not Miss. I bet those cops were taken aback by that.
Before in Illinois, so I'm not sure what.
I can only tell you New Jersey. I have no idea about. If I told you something, it might be completely incorrect. New Jersey, I can tell you 100% what the process. I have no idea with Nevada. You have to call their DMV. Unfortunately, not till Monday. It's a holiday weekend, so. All right. So you guys are all set. Tow truck drivers get taken.
What do we need? How do we get the car back?
Valid registration, valid insurance card.
How do they know that this is her car? Like, don't you need to give us a receipt or something? Like, how are they going to know that this one
This is the receipt.
her?
This goes on file.
Hi, I'm Karen Turner. Hi,
It's not
I'm a resident. There you go.
It's fine. I don't need that.
Okay, fine. I'm
You're
Karen
just
Turner.
here. You're just here as the rider, right?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
I'm here as a concerned citizen and friend of the mayor, and been in Tenafly for 20 years. I take full responsibility for them. And what is the reason they were pulled over?
The driver has all the information. He'll tell you.
No. I need to know.
No, you don't need to know.
Okay?
We're not involved here. You're picking them up.
No. I'm involved. Trust me.
Well,
I'm
I'm not
very
going to tell
involved.
you. He's the driver of the automobile. He's over 18. That's all you need to know.
Okay. If you can,
We don't need to see credentials.
okay.
We've explained already.
You need a. If you can give me a little bit of space here.
Who is this? Are you a commissioner?
I am the commissioner. One of the commissioners, and I'm heading up.
Do you have an ID with that?
That is my ID, and that is my business card. I am the commissioner of the Port Authority, and I'm heading up over 4,000 police officers. Okay? So, if there's a problem, I think I have...
There's no problem.
Well, I think there's a
It's an
problem.
unregistered vehicle.
Okay, let's hear, why were they pulled over, first of all?
Miss.
Now, don't call me Miss, I'm Commissioner. Thank you.
Commissioner.
Yes.
All due
Why
respect.
were they pulled over?
All due respect.
Yep. Why
The
did
driver
they
will tell you.
No. I need
Yes,
to
ma'am.
know.
The car's getting towed.
The commissioner asked the cops why they had stopped the car, but these rookie officers suggested she should ask the driver, who was over 18, instead. However, she was keen on getting an answer directly from them. Was it really that hard for them to just explain? Maybe the difficulty lay in the fact that they didn't actually have a good reason. Now, watch how the cops tried every trick to dodge the commissioner's questions. One of them claimed that they would have the report ready by Monday, which was conveniently a couple days away. It seemed like they needed some time to cook up a convincing story, right? Then another cop argued that she didn't have the right to know why their car was stopped. But first off, she was a commissioner. Secondly, it turned out her own daughter was in the car. So she had more than enough reason, both professionally and personally, to demand an explanation.
Why is the car getting towed?
Go ask him.
No, I'm asking. You're the person
ask
who's
him.
ordered it, and trust me.
Miss, this does not involve you 1%.
Yeah, it does. It does, because I'm picking them up, and I'm offering to take responsibility for them, and you can't even tell me the charges. I'm also an attorney, so I think if you can't tell me, what is the problem?
That's fine.
Why is it such a difficulty to say why they're being pulled over and why the car's being towed?
Because everything has already been explained.
I know, but I need to know.
Why do you need to know?
Because this is impacting me, because
Why?
I got 4 people who are coming back to my house, including people who live in New Haven attending Yale Graduate School, a PhD student, and I don't know why it's so difficult to say what the problem is. This is impacting me. On Easter Sunday, I got to take 4 people
I'll be honest.
back to New
I'll be honest with
Haven.
you. Should I be frank with
You
you?
can't, yeah, I want to know what the problem is.
It's more of the way you just approached me and your
You
demeanor.
know what? Okay. That's,
I'm being honest
I
with you.
want to know
I
why.
just don't appreciate your demeanor.
I don't
You're being
appreciate.
very demanding with me.
No, I'm asking
You have-
a question which is not being answered.
But it doesn't need to be answered. It's irrelevant.
You know what?
If you'd like
you
to
don't
read
wanna,
my report, you can come down to the police department records on Monday, and you can get a copy of it.
and you can't.
I am there is no. You have no right
sorry,
to know what's
but
going
this
on.
is. No, I do.
Explain to me why.
Because these are 4 people that I have
You're
to take
just a concerned.
responsibility.
Why do you have to take responsibility? They're all adults.
That's my daughter.
And she's
And
a
these
backseat
are her
passenger.
friends.
She's a backseat passenger.
And there's a
She has
problem
received-
with you describing it because you don't feel
Describing
confident. Why these people are being
Your
pulled
daughter
over
has not been
and
summoned. She was not the driver. This is not her vehicle. It's not your vehicle.
I'm
How were
sorry,
you
but
involved?
this is not going to be, if you have a problem explaining what the problem is and why their car is being confiscated, then we have a problem.
But then one of the cops complained that he didn't like how the commissioner approached them. He felt uncomfortable because she demanded an explanation, even though she had merely asked what had happened. It was a bit of a role reversal for the cops, who were used to demanding answers from people, often without any real cause. But the major difference here was that the commissioner had every right to ask these questions. The other cop then complained that he didn't like that he didn't know who she was. It was as if he expected to know every person he interacts with. But really, it should have been enough for him that the commissioner had clearly identified herself and explained her reasons for asking. The real issue seemed to be the way they were caught off guard and didn't know how to respond.
What graduation
Thank
when
you
I came
very
to
much,
what town? What-
Saditsky and Casper. Thank you for
Have
your
a nice day.
information and help. You know what? I hope you have a really nice holiday weekend too, because you just ruined it for a lot of people. Without
I
even the
didn't.
decency.
No, I didn't ruin anything.
Yeah,
I was
you
doing
did.
my job.
Yeah, you did.
I would just
This
hope
is
you
their
being
Easter,
a commissioner
this is their Passover.
that you would understand
You
the job
did it.
police officers have to do. But
There is no explanation. How can I understand? You
didn't
don't
even
have
ask
the
him.
decency.
You didn't even
no,
ask
I'm
him.
asking you because you're the one that's making the report, the problem, stating it. I'm going to
I
the
don't
store.
appreciate the way you approached me, the way you demanded information, the way
I'm
you're,
not demanding.
you're
I'm
stating
asking
based
you.
off of your
I'm asking
your
you.
position
I'm asking
in another
you.
agency,
I'm asking
whatever it may
you.
be. I mean, you have a business card with
How many
credentials.
times-
I don't know you. I just met you a minute ago. You have no official
So
identification.
Louis, you know Louis, what's his name? Schmarodowski?
What does that have to do with anything?
Well, I'm just telling you who I am. I've been in the town for 20 years, and as a courtesy, I would like to understand the rationale for their being pulled over and their car confiscated. This is a courtesy. I don't know why it's so
I
difficult.
believe
You know
you
what?
should ask your
Can
daughter
you
and the
please-
driver of the motor
My
vehicle.
daughter is a backseat passenger, as you
Exactly.
said. You're making the accusation. I would like to know
What accusation?
the accusation of I don't know what, because you haven't told me. You're telling me to go Monday and read the report. When these kids...
The cops decided to stop engaging with the commissioner and just wished her a nice weekend and happy upcoming holidays, which was pretty ironic considering they had just sourced the mood. Meanwhile, the commissioner turned to the driver to find out why he had been stopped, but he was just as clueless. The cops hadn't given him any explanation. That was the breaking point for the commissioner. She began to raise her voice at the two cops, telling them they wouldn't get off so easily. However, the cops remained smug, mistakenly believed she didn't know who they were. But they were wrong. She had taken a good look at their name tags and badge numbers of their uniforms. Did they really think she would forget so quickly?
With my safety.
Okay.
I don't need it. You can't put a sentence together? Sorry.
Okay.
That's pathetic.
Okay.
And you are a disappointment. And you are just following him. So you are also a disappointment. You can't put together a sentence of what the
Are you
problem
finished
is.
now? Are you finished, ma'am?
I'm shocked.
Are you
I'm
finished?
shocked and very disappointed. Thank you for
may
your
take
help.
them. You may take them now.
You may not tell me when to take my child. You may shut the fuck up and not tell me when I may take my kid and her friends who are PhD students from MIT and Yale.
Okay.
You may tell me nothing because you told me nothing. Shame on both of you.
Okay.
I will be talking to the chief of police.
Please.
And I will be speaking to the mayor.
Badge number
And you're not-
540.
I got your name. I got your name.
Just to make sure there's
I know
no
before
discrepancies.
react. There's no
Matt is the first name.
no. Don't you worry.
As long as you got all the information right.
I got all your information,
Okay.
sweetheart. You can't put a sentence together. That's shameful.
Okay.
That's shameful.
Have a pleasant weekend.
You have a wonderful
All right.
weekend. You're going to...
Just in terms of the receipt for impound, is that all contained in the 3 tickets?
No,
Yeah,
of
there is
course
no
not.
receipt for
They
impound.
can't even tell you the name, what the reason. They
So
can't
where
tell
are
me
you
the
taking
reason
the
why you're
car?
being pulled over.
The police
Are you
impound
tomorrow?
lot. Is that online? Can we, like,
What company are you?
find out the what? The location of the impound. No, it's at the police department. Okay. Police headquarters. Yep. You can take it.
Shame on you. Shame on you.
Have a pleasant
You
day.
can't put together a
The cops' plan to just brush off the incident didn't work out. The commissioner wasn't about to let them off the hook, especially after seeing her daughter crying in the car. This fueled her determination to put the rookie cops in their place and remind them they had no right to exert their power or authority without just cause. And it was clear they lacked a valid reason since they couldn't explain why they had stopped the car. The commissioner expressed her deep disappointment with the officers, pointing out that as police officers and public servants, they should act better. When she told them how let down she felt, their response was surprisingly dismissive. They said they were disappointed in her too. It seemed like they didn't have anything more thoughtful to say, which only added to the frustration of the situation.
Where are you going exactly? It's not private.
What's your address?
These cops really missed several opportunities to make things right. Each time, their egos seemed too big for them to simply apologize and admit their mistakes. Instead, they kept insisting they were just doing their job. But really, what kind of justification is that when they couldn't even explain why they had pulled someone over? One cop thought he might smooth things over the commissioner by complimenting her daughter and claiming the stop had nothing to do with her. However, the commissioner wasn't fooled by such tactics. This refusal to be manipulated probably hit hard, crushing the cop's ego to the point they might even start questioning their career choices after such a blow. What do you think about this whole situation?
I'm sorry.
Exactly why. I'm being honest with you.
Matt, you got a chance to put it together now, but you can't put the sentence together now, other than say you're disappointed. That's fine. We'll go to Ruskin.
You can go to whoever you'd like to go to. It's irrelevant to me.
Okay.
I'm doing my job.
Okay.
I've done nothing
Okay.
inappropriate.
And if I go and say, what's the address and what do we have to do, that's inappropriate too. You need to tell me for that too?
I don't know why you're
Obviously, yeah.
coming over to a vehicle that's lawfully being impounded.
Because I want to know
I
where
don't know what
it's
you're
going.
doing. The driver was advised where it's going, as was your
I'm
daughter.
not.
Your daughter was very nice as well. She asked, and I told her.
Guess what? I'm not so nice. And you can tell that to everybody, and it's fine.
Okay.
And the police have all been in my home, and in my second home, and in the third home in
I don't
Tenafly.
see how that's relevant, but to this situation.
Very smart, I know. Very smart. Maybe you need a few more tattoos off here.
Now let's talk about a man who ran into some trouble with some cops when he was filming their investigation. He was keeping a safe distance, but one cop felt he shouldn't be recording because it was a private situation, even though it was happening right out in public. Clearly, the cop might need a refresher on the First Amendment, which protects the right to film in public spaces. Seeing that his colleague was having a tough time since the man wouldn't hand over his ID, another cop joined in to help.
Your information? Your driver's license?
What's that?
Do you have your driver's license or name, date, birth?
For what?
Because now you're a witness to this crime that we're doing.
What crime is that?
Crime that we got these people in the back of these cars for.
I don't know what crime they committed.
You don't have to know.
But how do I know what they did, though? I don't know what they did.
Okay, they broke the law. They're in possession of narcotics. That's why they're in the back of our cars.
Okay, now you're telling me that, okay?
Yeah. So, do you have your name and date of birth?
No.
Or a driver's license?
No.
So you're going to refuse to be listed as a witness since you sat here and videotaped the entire scene?
If you need a copy of the video, I can give you a copy of the video.
Well, yeah, but we're also going to need to identify you in our report that you were here videoing, so when we come to get a copy of that video, we can get that.
All right, let me talk to your supervisor.
He said that he won't want to give us his name and date of birth until he talks to our supervisor. So.
And you're probably going to end up going to jail because right now you're witnessing a crime.
Well, I asked to talk to a supervisor. He's here, so why can't I speak with him?
Because you're refusing to give your information, you'll be going to jail for failure to identify as you're a witness to a crime.
So I need to give you my ID to speak to your supervisor? Is that what you're telling me?
No.
Okay, I need to speak to your supervisor.
Why do you need to speak to your supervisor?
Because I requested to speak to him.
What warrants that?
Because I requested to speak to him, and he's here.
Okay. What's your point?
He's here. I need to speak with him.
You've got no part of the scene, right? But you want to speak to our supervisor.
You can speak to him.
Okay.
Yeah, but you'll be in handcuffs and it'll be at the jail. Is that what you want to do?
I need to speak to your supervisor.
Is that what you want to do?
I need to speak to your supervisor.
Why don't you understand it? You put yourself in this situation right here.
But here's when things get surprising. This second cop tried to claim that the man was actually on private property, which suddenly meant he wasn't allowed to be there filming. However, a cop can't just declare a public area as private property on a whim. That's not how the law works. Do cops really think they wield that kind of power? It's a troubling thought that some might believe they can bend the rules to suit their needs at the moment.
You see that? You're on private property.
Private
right now.
or public?
You're on private property right now.
Okay, what does that do with anything?
Do you have permission to be here?
Did the owner trespass me?
Well, this guy...
He doesn't want you here.
This guy actually did call and tell us he wanted you to leave.
That guy right there?
Yeah. So...
What's his name?
So what's your point?
What's the guy's name that don't want me here?
So do you want to identify yourself so we can list you as a witness to this crime, or...?
I'm just asking a simple question. The guy that you just talked to, he doesn't want me here.
Yes.
So is he trespassing?
Would you like for me to go ask him to tell you to leave himself?
Do you already have that notice?
Yes, he told us when he came over here and gave me his business.
Then why do you have to go ask him then?
If you would like for him to tell you himself.
He can tell me whatever he needs to do. If he needs to tell me to leave, I'll leave. Simple as that. He needs to give me a warning before you can trespass me.
Well, now until you identify yourself, now you're forced to not leave.
All right, I need to speak to your supervisor.
Okay.
What's your name and badge number?
Don't worry about it. You'll get it in a minute.
What's up, Buck? You guys got the same nameplates?
Yeah, Deputy Chelly, 315.
You like that? You got
Same nameplates.
Same nameplates?
Yeah.
Same person or?
Yeah, we're the same person.
We're all one.
He's the same person as me. There's obviously two of us standing here, but we're the same people.
All right, you must be twins or something.
Yep.
There we are.
So why'd you come over here?
I don't answer questions.
You don't answer questions?
I don't.
So you just like coming and getting in the middle of crime scenes?
These officers were really curious about why the man was filming their investigation. But why? He was perfectly allowed to. It's interesting, though, how some cops got so bothered by him filming that they completely shifted their focus from what was supposed to be an important investigation to hassle the man recording instead. The man explained that he was a free journalist and had every right to record public activities, but these cops seemed clueless about constitutional law. That's quite disappointing, considering these same officers swore an oath to protect everyone's constitutional rights, and now they're acting like those laws don't even exist. Seeing the kind of people he was dealing with, the journalist asked them to call their sergeant. However, one of the cops was particularly stubborn, claiming he didn't need a sergeant because they were all doing the same job and he could handle the situation just as well. There was a big difference. The sergeant was a higher authority who likely could have de-escalated the situation, something these cops were clearly struggling with. But why were they hesitant about calling the sergeant?
And filming him? I mean, it probably would have been a good idea to keep walking today.
Where'd you come from?
That's not relevant.
It's not relevant?
No, it's not.
So you just...
How do we know you didn't get out of this vehicle? Go behind and you're with them and you walked over.
Did you just really ask me that?
Did I seriously just ask you that?
Is that a serious question?
Yeah, it actually is a serious question. Why would you randomly walk up to this and then fail to identify yourself?
I already told your supervisor what I do. I'm a journalist.
I really don't care what you do. It doesn't matter. So,
you have a question?
No, I'm just waiting on this business card and I'm out of here. That's it.
I gave you my name and badge number.
I asked for a business card. You said you were
I told you I don't have it.
We don't have it. We all don't have any, man.
Okay, what's your name and badge number?
My name is Cameron Chelly and my badge number is 315.
Okay, thank you. All right, now, like I said, I already told you, I'm a journalist. I gather content for stores. That's it.
Hey, we have no problem with that, man. We just don't like the space. CNN could come down here and prop it. We wouldn't tell them to leave. I mean, there's no difference just because you have a smaller camera. I don't care.
Right.
Just be careful where you go. Okay, that's all we're trying to get at.
That's fine.
I have no problem you videotaping. There's no issue. We don't do anything wrong.
And that's what I told you earlier. I didn't have a problem with you videotaping.
Now, sorry, am I free to go or am I being tamed?
Until you give your name in.
Hey, Pete.
Are you going to give him your name and date of birth or not?
I'm talking to your sergeant right now.
He's not talking to you. He's on the phone.
I'm not talking to you either. I'm talking to your sergeant.
It doesn't matter. guess what? We both have the same job.
He's a higher rank than you.
One way or another.
He's a higher rank than you. That's why I speak. This is why I speak with. He's here, so that's
great.
who I'm speaking with.
That's great.
Okay.
I made contact with you before he did.
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
I'm not sure you're really versed in the law good enough in the fact that you're failing to ID. You will ID or you will not leave here.
I'm talking to you. I'm talking to your supervisor right now.
What'd you say your first name was again?
What?
What'd you say your first name was again? He told him. I just forgot it. Because I would like to address you by first name.
You can address me by sir,
okay,
Mr., whatever the case may be.
So earlier when I spoke to you and I asked you to move back and you refused, did I not tell you that it was okay to film us? And I encouraged you to keep filming us.
I didn't say you didn't.
Okay,
Nobody has a problem with you filming.
Obviously, y'all guys are like right up in my face right now.
Because you injected yourself into this crime.
If I were up in your face, then you would know.
You need anything from him? You good?
I'm good.
Do you want me to talk to him? Okay. Can you try and identify him for us?
Yeah. All right.
When the sergeant finished his phone call and walked over to the journalist, he turned out to be quite reasonable. The journalist even offered to show him the video of how the other cops were treating him and his right to film, but the sergeant politely declined. He simply stated it was fine as long as the reporter respected certain boundaries. That's a great example of the difference between a good cop and a bad cop, and it really shows how officers should treat citizens with respect. How do you think the rookie cops felt after having their egos destroyed by the sergeant's approach?
I don't think I need your video, man. I'll be honest with you. I got plenty of video rolling, but I'm just telling you, the worst case scenario, if something were major, yeah, we would need as much as we could.
Okay.
I mean, so just be careful when you get into whatever you're doing. I know this is not the first time; it's going to be the last time. Hey, man, be careful.